Yes.
Okay, good. Yeah, so in last class, we discussed about like how to create relationships and like what are the different types of, if I go here, how to create relationships. So there are two ways. One way is going through manage relationship and then create relationship. And then if whichever relationship you want to edit, you can select that and click on edit, right? So you'll be able to edit the relationship, right? The other way is directly double click on the relationship that we have created, the line that you see, whichever one you want to uh, edit, double click on this one, that and edit relationship page will open, right? So these are the two ways in which you can create relationship between two tables. Then after you after this window opens, there are two things you have to do. One is like select the tables that you want to connect or create a relationship. Then you have to, the common key is automatically selected. If you want to like just verify that the common or primary versus foreign key is selected correctly or not. If yes, then that's fine. If not, then you need to select on your own. Then there is something called cardinality, many to one, which you see here in each of the tables. Many to one mean wherever there is one, that means that side it's one, and wherever it's star, that means it's many. So it's always recommended to select many to one or one to many. So both are same. If I do one to many or many to one, it will be same. So so these are the cardinality, and the other thing was um, how make this relationship active. So what we discussed last time is, if let me show you here, this one into, if you want to connect two tables and you have different columns over here, let's say uh, over it order date and then stock date, right? So if you want to connect two different columns with one field in the other table, which is date, right? So here what we have done is we have created relationship between order date and date between these two tables. And the second one is here we have created relationship between stock date and date, right? So if you are creating relationship between two tables in such a way that the two fields are connected with a single field in another table, then you can't make both the relationship active in one, like at once. You have to make one relationship inactive, then only you can make other relationship active. So that is one thing that we discussed last time. And um, yeah, so these were the things. And then the other thing was star schema and snowflake schema, right? So what is star schema? What is snowflake schema? It's just a concept, like maybe like theoretical question might come, like people can ask, like what are the differences and what is star versus snowflake? But to create visualization in the dashboard, it's not required. S- Still, I want to actually touch base upon that. So that day we discussed actually what is star schema. Star schema is wherein you have like one data table or fact table, which is AW sales, like, right? So where one data table is connected with multiple lookup or dimensions table. So if you see, AW sales is a data table and this is connected with various lookup table, right? Which is product, territory, calendar, and customer. So a star schema is a schema in which there will be one data table surrounded by multiple lookup tables, right? The other one is snowflake schema. Snowflake schema is a schema wherein you will have one data table and a chain of dimension tables. So if you see these dimension tables, AW product subcategory, AW product category, these are not directly connected with sales table, right? So how these are connected? These are chain of dimensions table. If you see, it is connected to product lookup to product subcategory and product subcategory to product category, right? So what we are saying, this is a chain of dimensions. So wherever like you have uh, models with chains of dimension, meaning one's fact table and a chain of dimension tables connected with each other, then this is called snowflake schema. So if you see this part that we are seeing here, wherever I'm hovering my cursor, these part is called snowflake schema, and here these this is called star schema, the way it is arranged, right? AW sales and these. So this is theoretical concept, nothing to do with the visualization that is out there, right? So now today what we will discuss is we were working with only one data table, but now I want to import one more data table and show you like how, like if in a model there we have multiple dimensions table, right? But we have only one fact table or data table. So I want to import one more data table so that like the complexity will increase little bit, and then we will finally create few relationships between the imported data table and the dimension table, and then talk about few concepts. Okay. So to import data table, I'll go to report view and then click on the get data in the home page. Click on text or CSV. The other table is adventure works returns table. Okay. So I'll click on this, open. This is a preview page that opened in which you have four columns: return date, territory key, product key, return quantity. I'll click on transform. Two steps that we do every time. Change the name of this one, which is AW returns. Just hover through all the columns, have a glance like if the data type is correct or not. Looks correct because numerical is assigned as a numeric uh, and date is assigned as a date format. Okay, so we are good with this one. Close and apply. So once this is loaded, you see there is one more data table that came here, right? Which is AW returns. Now, if I want to create relationship, let me actually, yeah, okay. So I wanted to create this model in such a way that data tables are at the below, okay, and dimension tables are at the top. I'll talk about those in just like few minutes. But for now, we have data table, two data table at the bottom. Just this is a way of arranging, and other dimension tables at the top, right? Now, uh, one thing is in AW sales also, if you see, there is something called territory key. And in AW returns also, there is something called territory key. But never create relationship, direct relationship between two data table. Okay. It's always recommended to create relationship between data tables through shared lookup tables, which means I can connect these two tables using some lookup table. I'll show you how, but never create direct relationship between sales and between two data tables. If I will create relationship something like this, see what it is saying. This relationship has cardinality many to many. This should only be used if it is expected that neither column territory key contains unique values and that the significantly different behavior of many to many relationship is understood, right? Now it is showing that if you will create relationship between sales table, which is a data table or fact table, and returns table, again, which is a data table, then the relationship would be many to many. Why? Because if I show you in the this view, data view, uh, under sales table, if you look into territory key, see territory key is repeating, right? That means many values of territory key is available in, like, for each value there are multiple instance present in the sales table of territory key, right? Similarly, if you look into returns table, there will be multiple instance of same value. Let's say do descending, right? So if you see multiple instance of same value 9999 10 is repeating under territory key. Similarly, in the sales table also you have multiple values, multiple instance of same values are repeating. That means they are, and that's why these are many, like if you create relationship between sales to returns, it will be many to many because there's no table in which there is unique value. We have seen that in every lookup table, whichever key we have selected, that is a primary key. Why? So we have discussed it, right? What is primary key? Primary key is something which will uniquely define each row of a table. So that means customer key will not repeat it. There will be only one instance of one value in the table, right? Similarly, if you look into this one, date in calendar lookup, only one uh, each value will be available only once in the table, right? There will be no multiple instance of the table. So that's why in each of the lookup table, let's say customer key is the primary key, date is the primary key in calendar lookup, sales territory key is primary key in the territories lookup. Although in the sales table and returns table, since the territory key is repeating, so these are foreign keys. So that's what we had discussed, right? Difference between primary key and foreign key. In primary key, there will be, like, each row will be uniquely identified, which means there will be only one, there will be no repetition. The value will be only once in the table, wherein the foreign key, what is foreign key? In foreign key, same value will repeat multiple times in the table. So that's what is happening in territory key in both the tables, right? So these are the foreign key. And the ideal situation what we had discussed is always try to create relationship in the data model that follow one to many cardinality. That means one side it should be one and the other side it would be star, which is many. But if we create relationship between data tables, which is sales and returns, it will be many to many. So always avoid this relationship. If you can create a relationship between these two tables using some lookup table. So I talk about like how to create relationship between these two tables using some lookup table. But for now, we know that we don't have to directly connect these data tables uh, using any common key, right? Is it clear? Like, are you guys able to understand or
Yes,
any
Neha.
question?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Becca, any question?
No, no, I don't have any
Oh,
question. Okay.
okay. So, yeah. Now, since you won't be or this is not an ideal situation to create relationship between two fact or data tables. So what we will do, we will first of all, since if you see right now returns table is not having any relationship with other table, right? So for these lookups table or sales table, they have no idea that any return table is existing in the data model, right? Because till the time we have not created a relationship, there will be no idea about that table for other tables, right? So if let's say I pull customer key from here, okay? Let's say I pull customer key from here. So these are customer key, unique customer key. I have pulled it from customer lookup, so that's why this will be unique, right? Then I am pulling, let's say, from sales table order quantity. Okay. So you see these order quantities are looking correct. Why? Because uh, these are the different values, and what is happening is it's suggesting me by doing this, what we are able to uh, infer is for each of these customer key, let's say 11,004 has purchased six quantity in total, right? This 11,010 customer like customer with 11,010 customer key or customer ID has purchased total five quantity, right? Now let's say I pull some column from returns table, right? Let's say I want to look into return quantity. So if you see under return quantity, the values are repeating, right? There are no, like, it's obvious that this all the customers will not repeat the same number of quantity, right? And if you see they have ordered 10 quantity, how they will return 1828 quantity, right? So that means these numbers are not correct. Now why these values are repeating in each of for each of these customers? This is because this return table is still not connected with customer lookup, right? And since this one is not connected with customer lookup or any product lookup, so that's why uh, like these tables are unaware about the returns table. Instead of customer key, let's say look into product lookup, right? Let's say I pull product name. So what I want to look into each of the products that are available, how many quantities are ordered and how many quantities are returned. So again, the same thing, the values are repeating. So what I will do, I will create relationship between returns and product lookup. Let's say I want to create relationships. So I will look for the common keys in both the tables. So there will be some primary key in product lookup and there will be some foreign key in the return table through which we can create relationship. Can you guys tell me like which key I need to identify or use in both the tables to create relationship?
Product key.
Product key.
Yes. So I will take product key from product lookup and then I'll take product key from return table, right? So what I will do, I will if you want to create relationship, either you can go through manage relationship or you can directly create whichever you know that product key is the primary key or product key is the common key that is available in both the tables. So then you have to select that key, uh, hold it and drag it to the other table, to the product key of other table, and then leave it over here. So once you do that, the relationship will be established, right? And if you hover on this particular line, it will show that the relationship has been created. You see one too many, and then if you hover the key using which you have created relationship will be highlighted. So that's what product key has been highlighted, right? So that is one relationship you can create. Now if you want to create relationship between once you created this relationship, if you go here and see, now see return quantity is pretty much aligned. What does this mean is, in total, let's say bike stand had been ordered 234 quantity, and out of 234 quantity that was ordered, total 8 quantity got returned, which makes sense, right? Always the return quantity will be little lesser than what at an overall level people have ordered, right? So this makes sense, and now everything looks good. So now why it became correct? Because we have created now relationship between these two tables. So now the modeling is done, and now the product lookup knows that okay, there is some table which is return table, and wherein we have like the return quantity captured. So this is done, and then what else we can do? We can create relationship between territory lookup and returns table, right? So let me create. So how we will create relationship between territory lookup and returns table? Can somebody tell me which common key will be there? You guys think? I'll come in 1 minute.
Becca, it might be territory key, right? Where we can connect the relations.
Yeah, I'm also thinking about the territory key.
Becca, are you practicing the sheets which Meha has forwarded in the email?
Oh yeah, I do like try to do like as we do in the class, but it's only 3 sessions. But now he just
Mm,
uploaded the rest of the sessions, so I just checked it now.
yeah. For me, those three classes were clear, but these relations are a little bit confused.
Yeah, that's why I was asking her, to upload the videos so that we can go through the videos because it's kind
Yeah,
of so confusing. You have to see the video again.
yeah. We need to have more practice on it so that we can get a clear clarification on it, right?
Yeah, especially the relationship thing. Yeah, I think this one is the main thing to do.
Yes.
So I think if you can know this one, I think the other thing will be easy. I think like to do the
Yeah.
graphics and everything.
Yes. The visualization and it, everything is depend on this, I think so, because we
Yeah,
need to connect.
yeah, you're right. Everything which is similar and like
Yeah.
Okay, so what you guys decided?
Territory key.
territory key.
Yes. So we have a sales territory key in the territory lookup and territory key in the returns table. Now this is a classic example where you see the names are not same or like exactly same, right? Still, I know that these are the key, or this is the primary key in territory lookup, and this is a foreign key in returns table. So multiple times it might happen that the name are not exactly same, or here in this case this is like little bit same, like half of the part are same but not exactly same name. But there might come scenarios wherein you have like exactly different name, like instead of territory key here it would have been territory id, and here it's territory key. Still, that would be the key to map both the table. So now how would you know that that is the key using which you have to create relationship? So in the case wherein the names are not exactly same, and if you are not clear on which key we have to connect, so then you have to go to the data view, you have to scan the tables and then see. So in territory lookup, what all we have sales territory key, region, country, continent. I know that there's only one key, sales territory key, which can be used to create relationship between other tables because uh, like region, country, and continent is specific to this table, right? So then I will look into a returns table. Under returns table, what all we have? We have return date, we have territory key, product key, and return quantity. Return quantity is a numeric field which will never be used as a key to create relationship, right? So return quantity is excluded. Now we have territory key and product key. I know product key is a key which will be used to create relationship with between like the again the product id from product lookup or like some other table, but it's product key, it is defining which product has been returned, right? So then the remaining thing is territory key, and if you see the values under territory key, right, under product key we have 479, 478, 220, like that. Under territory key we have values like 10, 9, something like that, right? And the similar values we have under territory lookup. If you see 9, 10, 8, right? So the values should be little bit common to create relationship, right? Like if the values are not same, let's say I create relationship between product key and territory lookup. So in most of the cases, these values won't get matched to the values in the territory lookup, because in territory lookup under sales territory key, we don't have 270, 280, 480 like that. We have values as 1 till 10. So that doesn't make sense. So then in the case where the names are not exactly same, you need to go through the data, try to understand like what this data is doing. I know right now it's very difficult since you guys are new to all these, but it you will eventually get there, that like how to identify each of these keys, and then like which key is the primary key for a particular table, which key is foreign key for another table. All these will come with practice, and you will be able to identify, right? So in the case where the names are not same, you have to go through the data, try to understand what each column is telling and which can be a primary key for this table, which will act as a foreign key in another table, right? So now I know that sales territory key is the primary key in territory lookup, and I need to join that with territory key in returns table, right? So that's how we will create relationship between these two tables. I will click and hold sales territory key from territories lookup and place it over territory key in returns table to create relationship. Right? So as soon as I do that, what I see a relationship has been established between territory lookup and returns table, wherein one you see here uh, below territory lookup and many below returns table. Why? Because I know that for each territory key, there is only one value in that table. We saw like 1, 2, 3, 4. Each of the value was only present once in that table. So that's why that is uniquely identifying each row in the table. So that's why one over there, and why multiple over here, because I know that multiple territory key is repeating in returns table. Why multiple territory key is repeating in returns table? So what this is signifying is, you see there are multiple 10, 10, 10 is repeating multiple times. So what it is saying is territory key 10. So in territory key 10, on multiple dates, return has been done, right? So let's say I look into territory lookup. What is 10? 10 is related to United Kingdom. So what this number is suggesting is, in UK on 31st December or 29th October, returns have been placed. And that's why this 10 is repeating multiple times, right? So any question till now?
No.
Okay. Shanaz, are you good?
No, no. Yeah, yeah, I'm good.
Okay. So great. So we have mostly covered this modeling part. I will talk about few more things that we have not covered, and then we will wrap this modeling session. So before going into there are two things that is important that I wanted to cover. The first one is the if I go here in each of the relationship, you see there's some arrow that you are seeing, right? Everywhere there is some arrow. And what is this? These arrows are called filter flow. Now, whatever now I'm going to talk about it, you might not be able to understand everything. Like before starting, I'll tell so that like you don't feel that what is happening, I'm not getting everything. So you might not be able to understand everything, but what I would suggest is just try to grasp as much as you can, and this is just a concept, right? Even if you don't get it today, you will eventually get, like, you will eventually understand all these concepts. So what is this arrow? This is called filter flow. Okay, and these are like the important concepts that you should know. So now, what is filter flow? Whenever you create a relationship between tables, you see the arrow is moving towards downward side, right? Wherever you see the arrow is going from one to many, everywhere it's going from one to many, one to many, one to many, right? Nowhere it's going from many to one. What does it mean? It means that the filter direction, these will point from one side of relationship to many side of relationship. One side of relationship is from the lookup table to many side of relationship. Many side of relationship is data table, right? Now, whenever you filter a table, okay, let's say I want to filter the sales quantity, right? So whenever you filter a table, you I want to filter sales quantity using customer key, right? So what will happen? Whenever you filter a table, that filter context is passed along to all the related, like, to that downstream tables, right? Filter can never flow upstream. Like it can never go from many to one. It will always flow downstream, and that's why, like, the way I have placed these tables in the model view is I have kept lookup table at the top and data table at the bottom, because I know that whenever I will create relationship, it will be one to many, and the filter will flow from towards one side to the many side, right? Now, um if I want to, let's say, let me territory lookup. Okay. If I want to filter both sales table and returns table using this territory key, right? So only way to filter both sales and returns data by territory is to use territory key from lookup table, right? Why I'm saying that is because if you see, you have territory key in the returns table, you have territory key in the sales table, right? And you have no relationship created between sales and returns. So if you want to have, like, if you want to have something like this, right? Let me pull territory key over here. Okay. So now what I want for each territory key, I want to see how many quantity has been ordered and what is the return quantity, how many quantity has been returned, right? So I know that to identify that, I have a territory lookup which is connected to both sales tables and returns tables. See, this is connected to territory is connected to sales table, and here territory is connected to returns table. So if I pull sales territory key from territory lookup and uh, then order quantity from sales and returns quantity from return table, I will get correct result over here, right? So only way to filter both sales and returns data by territory is to use territory key from lookup table, which is related to both the fact table, right? So let's say instead of getting sales territory key from territory lookup, I pull territory key from sales table. Okay. Right now what I have done, if you see, I have pulled territory key from territory lookup and then other columns from, let me, so I have pulled territory key from territory lookup and the order quantity from sales and return quantity from returns table, right? Let's say instead of pulling territory key from territory lookup, I pull territory key from sales table. What will happen? So let me pull territory key from sales table. So if you see, as soon as I pull territory key from sales table, what happened? Order quantity is coming correct, but return quantity is not coming correct. Why this happened? This happened because the sales territory key is connected to territory lookup, but the filter flow, the filter context that is there is flowing from one to many, right? So the arrow show filter direction and point from, like when you filter a table, that filter context is passed to any downstream table. So it will not go upstream. So what happened, since there is no direct relationship between sales and returns, and the filter is flowing downwards, right? That means if you select territory key from here, the return quantity will not get filtered because the filter is not flowing upward. This filter can't flow upward and go till here. This will not work. Why? Because I know that filter is flowing downward. So always what will happen? This table will be filtered using these key. Anything will be filtered using these key. But you can't filter these table using this uh, using sales table. You can't filter. Uh, so that's is happening. That's what is happening. Territory key is from sales table, and hence the return quantity is not coming correct because there is no direct relationship, and this relationship that you have created is not filtering this table since the filter is flowing downwards, right? So in that case, if you make this bidirectional, so that is the cross filter direction. There are two options under this. Something is called single and both. Right now, right now, since there is only one direction, it's single. If you make it both, let's say, now what is happening? This filter context is in the both direction, which means this table will be able to filter territory lookup also and returns table also. So if you pull territory key from sales table, then now return quantity will also come correct because now the direction of arrow is flowing towards this and then this. So if you see now, these values will come correct, right? So that is what is filter direction or cross filter that is available here, right? Single or both. What does it mean? Single means it is flowing from one table to another. So you can't filter the first table using like the lookup table using the data table. If you make it both, then you can do that. Then you can make it like filter the tables. But the point is you should never create or have never meaning not like 90% of time you should not have bidirectional filter because bidirectional filter always brings ambiguity. So what will happen that I will not cover, like how what complexity it comes when you do bidirectional, like everywhere if you create bidirectional filter, the model will get confused. Like it might happen that through this route it's filtering something else and through this it will filter something else. So just don't go into that complexity. I will not cover because it will be too much for you guys. But just remember that never use bidirectional filter. Always try to have your model very simple. By simple, what I mean, there are 2-3 things you need to keep in mind, right? For any like not complex dashboard, for any simple dashboard if you create, there are 2 3 thumb rules that you need to remember always, right? The first one is whenever you come to modeling view, right, you have to have lookups table and data tables separate, and then for each lookup table create relationship with the data table, and that relationship try to have one to many or many to one, both are same, but never try to create many to many relationship. It will create ambiguity that you will understand later on, like when you will start working on the data and then figure out like that is not ideal. But always try to have one to many relationship, like try to create your model in such a way that all the lookup tables are at the top, data table at the bottom. This is just the best practice I am talking about, like not mandatory. You can have lookup table here also, that will not harm, right? But try to have lookup table at the top. This makes your model view clear. Have data table at the bottom. Create relationship in such a way that the relationship is one to many, or the same thing, many to one or one to many, both are same, right? Never create bidirectional filter. That means always try to select here single. That means filter will always flow from territory lookup to sales table, like from one direction to other direction. Never try to have like the both directional filter, right? If because it will create complexity. There are multiple tables connected to each other. You never know like which table is filtering what, and you will get confused, and then you will feel that what is happening, why the data is not coming correct, and all those. So always make it simple, like don't try to create bidirectional filter, right? And I think, yeah. And then whenever you create relationship, try to have an idea like what should be the primary key, what should be the foreign key, because that is important. If you're not connecting both the tables using the correct key, correct common key, then the visualization will not happen correctly, right? So it's very important to understand about like what is the primary key in a table, what is a foreign key in a table, which key we should select to create a relationship. And so yeah, these are the 2 3 things that you need to keep in mind while creating data model, right? So always try to create separate tables, which we call as normalized database, that we discuss with the, I don't want to use those heavy names so that you get scared, right? But always try to have like individual entity in one table and data tables or fact table separately. Then always organize your table so that it looks clear. Keep lookup at the top, data at the bottom, so it looks clear and you get to know what is happening in your modeling view. Avoid this cross filtering or bidirectional filter that is out there. uh, Always try to understand like whichever relationship you are creating, what is primary key, what is foreign key. Yeah, these are the 4 things that you should keep in mind while creating any model, right? Any question, anyone?
No, it's good for me.
No,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, fine, good. So what I will do now, since the modeling is also done, and so what all we have covered, I will just recap everything so that like it's you guys understand like what we have covered, what is remaining, how much we have covered, and all those things, right? So the first thing what we did is we went to transform data, right? And then we imported multiple tables that you see. We did few transformations and like loaded everything in the dashboard, right? So this pane is called Power Query Editor. We have covered multiple things under Power Query Editor, like what is transform, what is add column, what are the different options that is out there, right? So all these are these comes under data connecting and shaping. So you are basically connecting your data. Uh, so you are connecting your dashboard to the data sources, and then you are shaping your data like the you are by shaping or transforming. It means like you are creating the table in such a way that everything that you need to create visualization, do visualization, create charts are there, right? So the first thing we did is we actually connected with the data source and shaped and transformed the data sets, right? The first uh, this was the first, and then once everything is loaded in your dashboard, then we will, the second step is we will go to modeling and then try to create relationship between each of the tables, because if you don't create relationship, then the same thing will happen as we have seen right here. If you see, this is because the we have pulled territory key from here, but uh, the values will not come correct, right? Because tables won't be able to know about the other existence of other table unless and until we create relationship, right? So the second thing and most important thing is you have to create model, and it should be very simple and straightforward, right? So the second thing we have done is modeling. Now the third thing that comes is, so these are the two things that we have covered till now. The third thing is, now everything is done. You need to visualize data, right? But before visualization, what we want to know is introduction to DAX. I will give you like the talk about the DAX. DAX is a language that is used in Power BI, right? So, and this is very important. This is like one of the important things that is out there in Power BI. If you know how to create DAX queries and write DAX formulas, then you have done like half of the things. You know half of the things about the Power BI, right? So under DAX, so in the next few lectures, we will talk about like what is DAX, what are the different DAX calculated columns, DAX measures, like what is the difference between calculated columns, measures, how to create DAX, right? So everything related to DAX. And what are the different formulas? There are multiple formulas, right? Time intelligence functions. Then there is something called like we have other functions. We have different measures that is out there, right? So we will talk about all those things. And then once we are done with the DAX part, which will take like good amount of time to talk about and understand and do practice, once we are done with that DAX functions, then we will talk about the visualization. So then the final thing will come, the visualization part, wherein we will talk about like what are the different charts, what does each of these signifies, how to create and when to create which, like when to pick which chart is important and how to visualize the data. So that will be the final step. So we are almost like 50% done in our course, and then let's say 50% or so, 55% is remaining, right? So for today I will not start with the DAX since it's a new concept, but I have prepared few questions for you guys, so we will go through that so that it's like for you it will be a practice. Okay, so I have like this time I don't have like I have multiple choice question, I don't have like theoretical which you have to implement. Okay, so let's start. Question one. Now you guys have to answer, and I will. If you guys don't answer correctly, I'll show you like what we had discussed, and like after going to Power BI, and then we can select the correct option. But just try from your end so that like let's see like how much you guys remember. The first question is, which three tabs in the query editor contain data shaping and transformation tools? So just go through each of the options and then you can unmute yourself and then go through these options and tell me like what should be the correct answer for this question.
The first option may have home, transform, and add column.
Okay. Becca, what do you think? So question is, which three tabs in the
Tab.
query editor contain data shaping and transformation tool, right? So the query editor is the window that I showed you right now,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Where we did data shaping and transforming. So we had gone through various tabs over there, right? So what are those three tabs that is out there? The first option is home, transform, add column. Second is transform, load, add column. Third is load, transform, analyze. And fourth is transform, design, analyze.
Yeah, I go with the first one, so home transfer and we add columns.
So I will, before marking that, I will show you guys. If you come in Power Query Editor, what all you have: home, transform, and add. right?
Add column.
So the first option is the correct option, home, transform, and add column, right? Quickly go to the second one. The query editor transform tools override the existing values in a column. True or false? What does it mean? The transform tools or the transform tab that you have override the existing values in a column. Is it true or false? So if you go to the transform
True,
button
ma'am.
and okay, if you go to the transform button and do any transformation in the data sets, will that transformation will happen in the same column or a new column will be created? That's what
The
it is.
same column.
It's the
Same.
same column because it's
Correct.
transformed. Yeah.
Yes. So the answer would be true, right?
Yes.
The third question is true or false. Statistics tools are accessible from the add column tab in the query editor. Do we have statistics
False.
in the add column tab? Let me
We
go.
have statistics.
I think on both. Yeah, we have on transform and also.
So if you see here under add column, statistics is not is grayed out, right? Why it is
Yes.
grayed out? We had discussed it because statistics, this tool or this option is only uh, available to explore the data, right? Using add column, we usually add a column in the table, right? And do some transformation. But using statistics, we don't add any column. If you go here and do some minimum maximum, so what happens? Like you get one value over there. Nothing is added as a column, right? So that's why it only gets highlighted under transform. If you go under add column, statistics would be grayed out. Although we have standard add, multiply, subtract, and all those scientific tools, but statistics is grayed out. Statistics will only be available in transform tab, not add column. Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. So the answer for this question would be false. The
False.
statistics tools are accessible from add column tab in query editor. No, it is not. Okay, so this is false. Fourth question is, in which scenario would the trim tool be most useful? There is something called trim. Okay, under extract, not under extract, just a moment. If I want to format, yep. So under format, if you see, there's something called trim, right? Lowercase, uppercase, capitalize, trim, clean. I think we have not used trim, so that it might happen that you won't know, but let me hover over here. See what it is written. Create a new column that contains the values in the selected column with leading and trailing white spaces removed. So basically trim, what does trim do? Trim removes the extra space from your text. It will remove the leading and trailing space from your uh, selected text, right? So the question is, in which scenario would the trim tool be most useful? So the first option is when you want to reduce the length of text string. No, I don't like trim is not used to reduce the length. It will just remove the extra space. To reduce the length, we can extract, like using extract option, you can out of, let's say 10, uh, uh, 10 one word, like 10, what do we call that? Let me go here. Like 10 letters, you can extract few letters. So in that way, you will reduce the length of that text, right? But using trim, you don't reduce the length, you remove the additional spaces that is out there, right? The second option is when you want to remove a fixed number of characters from the end of a string. Again, this you can do from extract. When you want to remove a variable number of characters from the end of a string, again, text between delimiters, you can do this. The fourth option is when you want to make sure that your text doesn't have leading or trailing spaces. So this is the answer for the trim tool. So trim always helps us to remove the leading or trailing spaces. fifth one is when you want to remove spaces between words in a string. So this it will not do. What does trim do? Trim just remove spaces from leading and trailing, like the end of the text and prior to the text, prior the text is started, right? So the answer is fourth for this question. Is it clear?
Yes, Neha.
Yes.
Okay. Then, okay. Which of the following date tools is only available in transform tab of the query editor? Okay, so you this one you will not remember. Let me go here and show you date. Sorry. So what is it saying? Which of the following date tools is only available in transform tab of the query editor? Okay. Age, month, quarter, day, latest, all these things. So let me select some date, then only it will get higher. I've selected date and then now I will go to the date. So if you see under date, you have age, year, month, latest, everything. And here question is, which of the following date tools is only available in transform? That means it's not available in the add column tab. It's only available in the transform tab, right? So if you look into this under add column in date, you don't have earliest, latest, all these options highlighted, right? In the add column, you will only have age, year, month, all those things. So, and under transform, if you go, you have these additional options that is out there, earliest and latest. What does it mean? Earliest means if you have selected date from here and let's say I click on earliest, what does it give? That means 1/1/2015 is the earliest date that is available in the data set that you have there, right? If I click on, let's say, let me go to transform and the latest, it will give you like 36/2017. Latest means uh, the latest date, like till the time your data is available, right? So it's 36/2017. So these are the two options that is available only under transform button in the date option, right? You don't have that earliest and latest options under add column tab. See, these are grayed out. So that was the question. What is which of the following date tools is only available in transform tab of the query editor? So answer is latest. Latest or earliest
Latest.
is the option only available in transform tab of the query editor. Now, this question I will ask you guys. Merging queries makes tables wider by adding columns, and appending queries makes tables taller by adding rows. Is it true or false? This statement is true or false? You guys tell me. Just think through, like, what is merging queries, what is appending queries? Do you guys remember? Any one of you? We had discussed this merging queries and then appending queries.
Yes, we have discussed regarding appending queries.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Bekar, do you remember anything? A little bit.
Yeah, the merging. What are the columns?
So what it is telling is merging queries makes tables wider by adding columns and appending queries makes table taller by adding rows. What do you
You
mean by
think it's
appending?
true?
Yes, it is true.
Because we're
Now,
gonna add
so
the columns.
yeah, so if you guys remember, I what we had discussed, do you remember that lecture wherein we had like various sales, like multiple sales queries over here, sales 2017, sales 2018, sales 2019, and we told that if we want to have all the sales in one, we will we want to have like we will have to do appending queries, and appending queries works only when the column name is same. Like if
Yeah.
we have same column name in both the tables, then append works. And append means you are appending the other data set below the first data set, right? So let's say if you append few data sets below this table, so what it will do, it will make your table taller, right? So that's what it is telling. Like appending queries makes tables taller by adding rows. So that is correct, right? Appending means you are like you are appending one below the other, given that the table name, or sorry, the column name is same in all the different queries, different tables, then only you can append. That is one condition. Now merging queries. What is merging queries? You can merge queries between two tables if there is a common key. So if you have product key under sales table, and if you have product key under products lookup table, so then you can merge these two tables and then pull few of the columns from here. So as soon as you merge two tables, let's say sales and product, what will happen? Those column will start appearing over here towards right. And if the additional column will come in one of the table, what will happen? The table will become wider, right? So merging queries will always make your table wider, like more number of columns will be added, and appending queries will always make your table taller because data set will get appended one below another, right? So that is the question that they had asked. Merging queries makes table wider by adding columns, and appending queries makes tables taller by adding rows. And that's true, right? Is it clear?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Maybe you guys will go through the videos once and then you will understand. Let me talk to Ravi today about the video.
No, he just uploaded now. I saw it now.
Okay, he uploaded it.
Yeah, I get a notification in my email when I check the YouTube. He uploaded the 3 sessions also.
Good, good. So now, what I will do just after this lecture, I'll send you the data sets also because we have covered almost all the things that is out there. So we have multiple data, like all these. I think I had shared last time 2 or 3 data sets with you guys. I'll just check and share the other data sets. So you will have the videos, you will have the all the data sets. Just try to go through the videos, try to incorporate or do the same thing that we have done in the lecture on your own, and then see like if you are able to do. Otherwise we'll discuss whatever doubts you will have. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so I think for now, for today, let's wrap it here because we are over time. Because these are the things that is not mandatory, but like I wanted to discuss few things randomly so that like you guys, like it always is better to discuss few things because I knew that you might have like forget this. So that's let's wrap it today. I have like few more questions and few questions for modeling. So we will discuss as like we will progress in the session. Randomly, we will pick any day and then we will discuss few of the questions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's just see the video again and
Yeah. Let's see the video and then it will be easier for you guys also to answer the questions. Okay. So we'll go through
okay.
this.
So, yeah.
Okay. Okay, guys. Any more questions? Maybe.
No.
No, no, ma'am. Uh, but just now Becca said that